Hi, I'm Laurel. This is Will, and this is the Land of Kakiak, where I am educating 3 boys using the Robinson curriculum as the base of our homeschool education. So, our seers, you know, this is day 6 of our school week. You know that we do 6 days a week. And I thought I would just show you some of the stuff we do on Sunday. Okay, Will.
I'll go first.
All right, you go ahead and roll. So this is called Crazy Crabs multiplied by 5. So you roll, and William's going to add together the numbers that he rolled.
6. I set in the 7.
Okay, 7. And then we're multiplying by 5. So 7 times 5 is?
7 times 5 equals 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
Yeah, it is 35.
35.
It's 35, yeah. And if it helps, I don't mind when they're learning these, I might write 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Want to count with me, Will? 30,
35,
40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Right, so this is 5 times 12. This is 5 times 1. What's 5 times 0?
5 times 0 because you know.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's my turn. Can you roll for me? Okay, so I have 4 and
5.
Can you move your hand? Can you move your hand? 4 and 1, which is 5, times 5 is 25. So I'm gonna try to look for 25. There's 1, and the first person to get 4 in a row in any direction wins. Okay, your turn. Okay, something happened. What happened, Will?
I won.
You won? How many did you get in a row? You got more than 4.
5 in a row.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, will you do me a favor? Can you erase this for us so it's all clean for the next time we want to play on it? And we will show them how I am revamping his flashcards, his math facts. So we got these cards at the Dollar Tree. They look like this. So I got all 4 operations $1 each. So it was like $4. And they're 2-sided though. But I tried to get ones that were as plain and like undistracting as possible. And I just put a little dot. I used a gray, it's actually a highlighter, but it's gray. And so I dotted all of them on one side. So we could just practice them all on one side and then flip them over and do the unmarked side. So he's gone all the way through all of his dotted sides, and they've been put into the mastered pile at some point. But I hadn't added in the division yet. So he is getting into multiplication, and I mean he's been going over multiplication for a while. We kind of stopped and came back to it, but he hasn't done division before. So I'm gonna start actually adding in the division facts ahead of doing them in his math workbook over there. So he's gonna be practicing them. So I'll show you how we kind of put it together. So we've got his little index card box. I just had to, this one guy who was getting beat up, so I give him a new one. And so it's practice more, put there anything that's mastered, we put it here, and these are all new again, because we're going to, before I flip them over, we are going to add now the division stack, which I've dotted side, into the rest of the operations, and to make one big stack like that. And then once these are all mastered, all of them, then we'll just flip the stack over and we'll start going through it on the other side. So I'm going to mix these division facts in real quick, and then I'll come right back. Okay, I'm back. I shuffled in all those division cards with the other operations, and I put all of them into the new section because we're starting over. So what I do every week is, this is how we restart the week. So we start with, we just pull out the first 10. 1, 10. Okay, this is for Will, and he is 7. So he just turned 7, you know, towards the end of last month. So we're putting those into the practice more, right? And we'll put these ones, you know, back in the news section. So then starting on Monday, after he does his math workbook page, he pulls out his new 10 facts. He sets his timer for 10 minutes and he works on them. Does right pile, wrong pile. You know, he's allowed to look up the answers. If he doesn't know it, you know, he can look at a chart or something, or he can, whatever he feels is easiest to figure it out. You know, there's been times where he's reasoned it out on an abacus. Just however he thinks will make it stick in his head. We've tried a bunch of different things now, so he's... William, what do you do if you don't know one of the math facts? Do you just look at the answer on the back? What do you do?
You figure it out.
You can't figure it out, but when you're just trying to memorize these, right? So it doesn't really matter if you get it right or wrong because you're just practicing them, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do if it says, you know, 3 times 12, and if you don't know it off the top of your head, what do?
You count up.
You do count up? Yeah, okay. So that's what he likes to do. He likes to count up. That is kind of prone to more error. So do you check after you count up, do you check that you got the right answer on the back, I guess? And then you see if you get it right or wrong by flipping it over? Yeah. I do have like charts for them, so if he doesn't know it, it's fine with me if he looks at the answer and then just puts it back in the practice more, you know, pile, and see if he remembers it the next time he comes to it. So anyways, we do right pile, wrong pile for 10 minutes, and then I just keep that same 10 all week. He does it every single day for 5 days, and then on the 6th day, we do, you know, he does it, and then I do a little quiz. So I do these with him. So I separate them out into right and wrong. So like the last line, let's say he got 10 out of 12 right. You know, say he got these 2 wrong. These are in the wrong pile. Then I would put the ones that he got right. I would put them now in the, not in the new section, but the mastered section, right? And then I would grab, you know, 8 more so that it was up to 10. And then I would stick those in the practice more section. And that's where he would pick up, you know, the next week. And we just keep going through there until all of these are gone. And then we'll just, you know, flip it around so that it's the non-dotted side, and we'll start the whole thing over again. And then when he gets through that, then we should be able to test him on all of the math facts at once and see which ones he gets right and which ones he gets wrong. So that's our system so far. It seems to we're making progress. You know, we're definitely making progress, and it's simple. And like there's been times where we played games, like math flashcard games and stuff, but which was fun for a while, but sometimes it seemed like it took up too much time. There's too much setting up and like stuff. So I do think the right pile, wrong pile method is just the cleanest, easiest way to do it. And if you want to add some fun in, I prefer those no prep printed out games, math games. And that the lady, I'll put the links down below, who makes those, she has them for all 4 operations, and I bought them all. And I bought them all independently, and I wish I had just like she has a bundle of all of them. I could have saved a little bit of money. So anyways, yeah, it's cheaper to buy the bundles. But anywho, that's how we do math facts, and I like to keep them in this nice little compact, you know, index box, and we usually just keep it, you know, it's like behind this little thing, or it's like at the end of I've got like our reference books and like the McGuffey readers and stuff. I just keep in the middle of the table these days. So we'll just keep it here in the center, and they can just grab it whenever they need it. Okay, I thought maybe I'll show you Beauregard's lesson plans because I've kind of changed the way I'm planning for him. Okay, so I was going to show you guys how I was using some my new planner sheets to help me organize Bo's, because I felt like Bo doesn't need the full, like he's just in preschool, like he doesn't need all of this to plan 1 week. He doesn't need all this space like the other boys, I feel like I really do. So I'll just show you the sheets I'm using and how it's working. So I have, I do this for all the boys. I do a curriculum sheet that I keep at the front of their section. So I list their subjects, and then I list out all the books and then other resources and materials that I've chosen for them for the year. And that's part of my planning process before the year starts. And then from that, I just kind of shop this list to build his lesson plans. So I've done 2 things. So I decided I was going to okay, so I'll show you what I do. If you hear rattling around in the background, it's just the kids. They're in here with me. Everett's reading. Bo finished his little math cubes and he's building. What are you building, Bo?
A house is a funny giant that I'm messing up the house.
The guy's messing up the house. Okay, William, you left out one of your books. Look. William wanted to play with or practice his handwriting with those magic writing books. So he's packing that up and he's gonna get out his Betsy Butterfly, right, Will? Anyway, so this is how I'm gonna be doing his. So I look at his curriculum list and I shop this list and I build a couple lesson plans. And so I just this is what's working for us right now. We do days that are either heavy letter and light number, or we do days that are heavy number, light letter, and we alternate. So I think I made 2 for each. So I made 2 heavy letter days, A and D, and I made 2 heavy number days, I labeled B and D. And so I just write the topics for heavy number days. It's number fluency, or maybe some people might say number sense, and just mathematic thinking. The concept we're currently working on are his current numbers. So he has his own index box, and maybe I should do an updated video on that. But we go through the current numbers that he's working on, and we're going for recognition of the figure. So we want him to know that this is a 6. If he sees it, he's a 6, right? And he knows the corresponding count. So he knows that 7 equals, 7 things. And then I pick some activities. So we're still gonna have a light letter day. So we're still gonna sing our ABCs, okay? And look at the flashcards. It's hard to see. I wish my power would come back on. But I have, the flashcards up there. So I've got his ABCs, and we look at those, we point, and we sing. And then we've got some number of flashcards 1 through 12 up there as well. And so we just do a little bit of that. He's only 4. He doesn't have the longest attention span, so you kind of have to do these quick activities. And then we'll do number flashcard warm up. So we have some flashcards that we use. And then we're going to play memory with finger count to claim the match. So when we flip over, this is in his little box, when we flip over, he gets a match. Let's say he gets a 4 and a 4. He has to show me, even if he recognizes it and says 4, and he says that correctly, I've moved him up to, he has to show me 4 fingers to claim the match. And so then we're going to read from number stories. So we'll read through that for a little bit, and then we can pick another activity, and I try to give him a choice. So he can play, we can go play on the piano, and maybe we'll look up something on YouTube, like how to play, Pink Panther or something. And then we sing a counting song, or he can color in his Berenstain Bears number coloring book, right? So that's an example of one. And then I have just like another day, it's the same key concepts, but I might focus a little bit more on, like on this day, I want to focus a little bit more on writing, you know, so I've got some other activities there, and then he can pick an activity here to do, kind of same thing. And then over with our lesson, our heavy letter days, and we're focusing at this level on phonics, on pre-writing, and on counting. That's our light number thing. So current letters, we are doing all the sounds of the letter that the letter makes, the formation of the letter, so we're trying to write it, right? And recognizing the letter, recognition. So counting, we'll do counting 1 to 20. It's just like really simple. So we'll sing our ABCs and we'll count. We'll use our play foam letters, or we'll make letters with play foam, I should say. We'll work in the My First Letter workbook, and we make a scratchy trace flashcard, which I should make a video on that because I think it's really fun, and it's kind of a dupe for a more expensive product. And then notes, he can pick one of these activities. And then again, another version of that kind of stuff. So we've got A, we've got heavy letter, and then we've got heavy number, right? A, B, C, and D. So I've got 4 lesson plans I can go off of for now. This is what we're working on. And then to keep log of it, I can just use, my planner comes with just a blank monthly planner. I'm just gonna fill in October 2022. And then I'm just gonna I can just write down A, B, C, D. I can write down whatever, whichever one we did that day. And I'm gonna rotate them through. And then when he has really mastered these, I will just print off some more blank lesson plans, and I will just redo this, right? We might move up to whatever the next step is, and for him. So it might be counting higher, it might be starting how to read in 100 easy lessons, just whenever he's ready for it, but we're not pushing anything, We haven't started formal handwriting, but we might move him up to tracing, words instead of just letters, something like that. I'm sure I'll share. Anyway, so then I can just keep that all here in my binder. It looks messy because I took it out to show you. But then it's less paper. I'm not having, and I've already done all my planning, and the only recording, and it only took me, like 4 pieces of paper or whatever it is. And then the only thing I have to write down is that's already done, is just what plan I use on each day. And then this is also keeping track of attendance for me, right? If I ever had to prove attendance, I would just use my monthly planner, and you can see every single day that we did school, and I can just total down here on the bottom, And I have a couple blank ones, so I'll just keep doing that over and over. And I'll keep this for my record. So this is gonna actually save me a ton of paper and a ton of planning time, because I've already done it. All right, well, I hope that was helpful. I will catch you next time.